Does a sun-kissed tan put the beautiful in Trump's big, beautiful bill? Well, apparently the GOP thinks so, or thought so, or had some view of it, because Republicans are drawing ire for a tanning bed tax break that had been proposed in the bill. The provision would have repealed a 10% tax on indoor tanning services.
The tax break led to a fiery exchange between lawmakers and a Rules Committee hearing on Wednesday. Let's take a look.
And I don't know where this particular provision came from. We do know that there are certain elected officials who appear to have a certain orange hue about them, that maybe they want to make sure that tanning beds get a little bit of special credit. But really, we are prioritizing tanning beds over hospital beds in rural America. Would you please, so that the American public knows what this bill does, one of the little things that it does, would you please read page 901, line 20?
I think it'd be better if you read it.
Oh, he doesn't want to read it.
I'll
read it.
I know the
actually, Ranking Member Moore, Ranking Member Moore
here, so you
Ranking
can read it.
It was a question if you would read it, so I'll ask Ranking Member Moore to read the text. This is in their bill. They don't want to read a line from their own bill. Ranking Member.
I don't want to read the bill for you.
I'll help you out.
I am.
After that exchange, the tanning bed tax break was mysteriously removed in the final bill. Sad. I guess they won't be getting their sun-kissed glow after all, but that didn't stop social media users from unleashing on the proposed provision. Political commentary page Art Candy says, "Oh, tanning bed companies are getting a tax break while people with skin cancer are getting kicked off Medicaid. None of this is making America great."
Others came to the provision's defense. Investigative journalist Auntie Barnes says they're undoing a frivolous tax imposed by Democrats. Stop gaslighting. Oh boy, we're being gaslit.
We are on the tanning issue. So first of all, just to re-stress, they did eventually pull this provision out of the bill.
Yeah.
It wasn't a politically embarrassing, I think, provision, and I think that exchange showed it, where there was such discomfort about reading the wording of the bill. Now, it is something about an excise tax on tanning beds.
10% to discourage the use of tanning beds for health reasons.
So I have to confess, I am not an expert on the excise duties on tanning beds. I've never been in a tanning bed in my life. I stick with my pasty Irish complexion for the most part.
Yeah, I think this is evidence the Floridians are running the house right now in Washington. So this is a puzzling one. You know, on the surface, this whole notion that they're gonna give a tax break to tanning bed businesses because Donald Trump is a strange color and definitely uses tanning services, that just sort of seems like typical Trump derangement syndrome framing. Like, seriously, why would that actually have any effect or desire of the president? But
he
on
presumably would have the money to pay for tanning of
Is
whatever type he wants.
Is he invested in a tanning bed company or something? I don't know. The other thing, though, and just to take the equity viewpoint, these are predominantly female-owned businesses. You could say you're improving the economy and the business prospects of women across the country, and at least every salon in my town is run by African American women, and that's that's a very important perspective. Maybe Republicans were doing that, but I doubt it.
Well, I think it's a fair point to raise, and I will repay your reach across the aisle here by saying that in this bill, and in terms of the later amendments, there was actually one that has Trump's name on it that I agree with, and it's this inclusion of tax advantage savings accounts for children that are going to be called, and I quote, money accounts for growth and advancement, which of course translates to MAGA accounts. But the basic idea is the federal government will give $1,000 to start off a savings account for a child when he or she is born. And I think that is a good idea to try to particularly give lower income children some kind of seed capital, for want of a less
that reminds me of Cory Booker. I mean, Cory Booker had a proposal a couple of years ago on bridging the wealth gap, in America between white kids and kids of color and all that kind of stuff, and trying to actually bridge generational gaps in wealth. You know, people got their start in the 1950s and 60s, coming out of the shadow of World War II, enjoying the GI Bill, getting homes, and getting that wealth within your family that then you pass down. And Cory Booker proposed a policy very much like that, which was to, at the very beginning of people entering our country and entering their life, that they have a savings account being created for them. He actually did an event a couple of months ago for BlackRock on retirement, and they proposed this very thing, which is that we need to give people a start for their wealth building, a savings account when they are young, to put towards school, to put towards buying a home. And that's actually a way that we can really help people and try to change both the retirement trajectory in this country and also possibly home ownership.
Sure.
I think that's a good policy.
Right, and just to end on a harmonious note, I think that what that debate shows is how often proposals are judged upon who is proposing them rather than the merits of it. And if Cory Booker and Donald Trump happen to agree on that topic, I think that is an excellent idea.
That would be a wonderful way to go into the weekend.
So, on that topic, it does it for us today on Rising. Be sure to like, share and subscribe to the Hill's YouTube channel so you never miss any content. And for those of you who like to listen while on the go, we are now available anywhere you listen to podcasts. Thanks, folks. It's been good being with you this week, and we'll see you next week. Have a good Memorial Day.